OBESE for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. I'm in Derby with
Why did you
Derby's
sound so
very own.
sheepish when you were giving that? Like, is the sound not working?
Is it because there's only very few people in this room and I'm conscious of...
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to be polite. I've been invited into David Lloyd Derby. Shout them out.
Shout out David Lloyd Derby. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to be polite on your behalf. Don't want them thinking you're bringing in rowdy guests or anything.
No, all good.
You all right? Tired?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've just done the interview there with Louis. So like I'm just you're kind of trying to reboot myself to start again.
You're telling me you need rebooting after doing a 15-minute interview?
Was that all it was? 20 minutes.
20 minutes of work. By the way, you've been in, I don't know, sauna, steam, spa all morning, and you need it to be rebooted after 15 minutes of...
Little bit.
Give me some...
You're the lead. You're the lead.
You're the subject.
You're the host. I'm the subject. You're the host. Come on, give me your best work.
Let's talk a bit about Derby, by the way, because the Rams are staying up. So there is something to shout about in this town.
The Rams are staying up for sure. Don't know how, by the way, but they are. But it was very important for the city that they did stay up because you don't want to be back in League One.
Do you go a lot?
Whenever I can. I've got a season ticket, but it's whenever I can. Like, obviously, as you know, I'm away a lot. So like, if I'm back on a Saturday afternoon, I will go. See you later. Bye bye. Yeah.
We've lost our one audience member.
Yeah. Our audience.
It's not going very well. Right, Adam Macka.
Yes.
Signs with Matchroom.
Yes.
And you teased that he'll be making his debut in the Big Apple.
He's making his debut in New York. It was already released, so I didn't know whether I could renounce it. Like I actually asked Matchroom if I could say it. They were like, no. And then on the as part of the release, they said he's fighting in the Hulu MSG in New York. So yeah, huge stage for young Adam Macka to make his debut. But he's born for this. He really is. So he will thrive.
Tell me why he's a generational talent, because a lot of the words I've been seeing are generational.
If you followed his career as an amateur, I don't want it, because you see, I've actually not been saying this much about Adam Macka, because I know people accuse me of, he says this about all his fights. You watch Adam Macka in the amateurs fuck people up. That's what he does. So imagine what he's going to do with small gloves on and no head guard. He's going to be a little beast. So I am looking forward to it. And you see what Adam says as well on his interviews. He's only young. He's saying, I do not want to be part of any boring fights. I'm coming to knock people out. That is what a fan wants to hear and see. And that's the reason why he's going to put arses in seats.
It's a funny thing you're saying that people might go, he always says this about all of his fighters. It's pretty much the point of your job.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to sign someone and say like,
he's all right.
He's a shitbag. He's a shitbag. He's going to he'll eventually maybe compete at domestic. No, look, I like to think the fighters I sign, that I have visions of them becoming world champion or competing at world level. Adam Macka, if he doesn't win a world title, is an epic failure across the board. He is a generational talent, and he will prove that. After his first fight, people will be like, wow. I know it because of the way he fights. Yeah. You will not be bored watching Adam Macka box.
It's a big claim. It's a big claim. Just what you mentioned just then, if you had to, because I know there will be a lot of people who will want to work with you, because
thanks, Oscar. Appreciate that.
It's true. It comes with promotional deals, and you get good backing, you get good support.
Yes.
And it helps build your profile. Have you had to be kind of wary or cautious to not take on too many fighters? Because it could be easy to just rack up a list of 50 fighters.
No, I won't ever rack up 50 fighters, but I work very hard, Oscar. I've got a good relationship with every single one of my fighters. My line's open to them 24/7. I won't sign a fighter unless I get on with them on a personal level. So I'm very happy with where I'm at the moment, and long may it continue.
Yeah. Any more coming soon?
Potentially.
The door's always open to an elite.
Yeah. The door's always open as well. It depends about the situations I'm in as well. So yeah.
Right, I know we're going to talk about your stable and a couple of other things, but I want to start with Leewood and Anthony Catchy, or say Anthony Catchy is the champion first versus Leewood. Has to be a good fight.
Yeah, you'd imagine. I don't want to jinx it, because I actually jinxed the Ryan Garcia fight. Do you remember all those fights happened? It was quite boring. I tweeted saying Ryan Garcia is going to save the show here. He's going to end the proceedings with a great left hook, and we just got back-to-back stinkers. So I don't want to jinx the fight, but I would say, touch wood, but I would say the way both of them two fight, you're onto a winner, because I don't think either of them are going to take a backward step. Leewood is not taking a backward step in front of all his people in the Motorpoint Arena up the road. And Anthony Catchy, you know, he's not built like that. He's coming for violence. So I think it's going to be an absolutely banging fight.
Is it a fight that ends inside the distance, do you think, whichever way it goes?
I think the fight does end inside the distance. Two proud men, but I think that it's going to come down to, I know it's like cliche, but like who's got what left. They're both at the twilight years of their, it's fair to say that they're in the twilight years of their career. So, yeah, it's got to end sometime. So we'll see who's got what left.
Can I pick you, or can I push you for a pick?
You know, I'm not ever scared to give a prediction.
It is genuinely a hard fight to...
I don't actually know, if I'm honest with you. Like I don't like the fact Leewood's been out the ring for 2 years. I don't think that's going to help. Catchy is definitely probably the favourite because of the size and the activity, but you count Leewood out at your peril. I really don't know. I don't know. I know I've met Catchy a few times, but I know Leewood a lot better. I know Leewood to speak to a lot more. I honestly couldn't give you a confident answer. I would say Catchy's probably the slight favourite due to the activity, but I would never write Leewood off just because of how his career. Look at the Mick Condon fight, losing that fight, won in dramatic style. Warrington was losing, won in dramatic style. You can't count him out, Leewood. Great fight, really good fight.
Whoever wins is going to be an absolute banger, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Right, Eubank Jr. versus Benn. Just your kind of initial first reflections on the whole event, the week. Obviously, you're very close with Conor. You were there as a friend.
It was one of the best fights I've ever watched. It was one of the best fights I've ever watched, but I was kind of relieved when the final bell went, if I'm honest with you, because I was just thinking, Conor's a lot smaller than Chris. It was a grueling fight for both, and the fight, how it ended, they both deserved to finish the fight on their feet because of how the fight went, and yeah, just an epic fight night. Good for British boxing, good advert for British boxing, and Turkey will be, I'm sure Turkey was ecstatic with how the fight went because it's just, again, for first ring magazine card, it couldn't have really gone any better.
Is it hard to enjoy, I mean, it's kind of a bit what you were saying, but when you were talking about you just wanted the bell to ring, is it hard to enjoy a fight too much when you're close to someone and you're watching punishment?
It's the same as any fight. Listen, I'm not Conor Benn's manager, but it's like when I watch Jack or any fighters that I represent, it's hard to watch it, depending on what type of fight it is. It's hard to watch it. When I used to watch Joe Joyce, I promise you, I used to go through, I used to bang a whole pack of Nurofen when I used to watch Joe Joyce box. Honestly, watching Joe Joyce aged me dramatically. Yeah. Dramatically aged me. So yeah, it's never fun to kind of watch it. I much prefer to watch boxing. Like tonight, I will sit back and I will eat some form of takeaway and enjoy every second of Leewood. I'm looking forward to the whole card. Ezra Taylor against Troy Jones. Really looking forward to that fight. There's some really good fights. Kurt Walker against Liam Davis. It's a really, really good card.
Enjoy that. Just
I like to sit and watch boxing in my front room when I've got no emotional attachment to the fighters on there. That's when I like boxing the best. Being a part of a boxing when you're someone you care about boxing, it's very, very emotionally draining.
Obviously, I was in the changing room, Conor's changing room after with you, and there was quite a lot of people in there. Conor was devastated. But just before that, was you in the changing room when Conor and Nigel saw Senior appear on the screen?
I was out of the chamber. Okay. That was one of the best moments in British boxing.
Adam Smith made it even better.
I said that on my tweet. I said only Adam Smith could have delivered. He's here. It was absolutely brilliant. Like, you can be on either side, right? I want Conor Benn, right? It's firmly in Conor Benn's corner. But when I saw that guy, the door open, Vince McMahon style, like they're sitting there with his big smile, I thought, fuck, this is what it's all about. He
took 2 seconds.
It was like
to just sit there as well.
to lap it up, but the crowd erupted. Even people that were in there for Conor Benn, right, erupted because it was just a special moment for the whole night, and it kind of changed it upped the level of the vibe of the arena. It was just, again, one of the most surreal, special things I've ever sat there and witnessed in a bar. Like, I literally just, like, what on earth's happening? I looked at the screen, and Yeah, and watched Eubank walk in. It was absolutely it was tremendous. But Adam Smith made that even better.
I still get goosebumps when I watch it now and listen to Adam. I was with Nissa Saunan last night, and I know obviously this is, you know, it's a family affair, so it's hard to comment on too much. So you can tell me you don't want to answer. But he believes that, you know, I know there was the part of him turning up for Junior, but that it was because there were cameras. He is kind of an actor nowadays, senior. He may have been compensated.
Yeah.
Don't have to comment, but do you believe he was there because of the relationship with Junior?
No, is my answer to that. However, I don't know what His Excellency Turkey did to get him there or convince him to go, or what the reasons are as to why he came. All I know is you have to kind of, when you watch a film and you want to believe it's real, that's the way I want to believe.
Like WWE?
Correct. When I watch WWE,
It was real till I was about 9.
watch WWE, right, I want to believe in my head that it's real. Yeah. We know it's scripted, right? But we want to believe it's real.
Is it scripted?
No, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, it's a perfect example as to that scenario, right? It was WWE style, and whether it was scripted, whether he was compensated, whether he wasn't compensated, whether he... It's, for me, as a person, because I'm not... Listen, I don't know them like that, right? For me, I kind of want to leave it what it was. I don't want to know the ins and outs. But what happened was, it made the event even more special.
It was a perfect narrative, perfect ending with a brilliant fight.
100%.
Just want to reference the Diary of a CEO podcast that Junior done. It was a good watch. It was honest. It was open. He said a couple of things about Frank, and I know we've all kind of joked before saying, "Oh, it must be really awkward when you have a roast dinner, blah blah."
Yeah.
There is ties from, you know, Frank to Matchroom and his relationship with Chris's sister, and it's awkward. I presume. I just want to know what you made
it's all awkward.
Of Junior's comment.
It's all awkward.
It was all very close.
Yeah. Imagine though, Christmas Day, like there with this playing charades, like Frank Smith Senior, the Junior. Not that. Listen, it's an awkward situation, but like I do feel. Listen, what I can comment on, I don't know the relationship between Chris and Frank Smith, right? I know nothing, but. What I am
there was a dislike, at least from his side towards Frank.
But what I am qualified to give my opinion on is Frank Smith as a person. As a person, incredibly tight, incredibly tight, have to shake that fucker upside down to get money. However, like I said to Louis there, one of the straightest people I've dealt with in this game, probably the most straightest person. He's never ever gone back on anything he's ever said. He's never lied, not to me. He hasn't. But as I say, is he tough to negotiate with? Yes, but straight, absolutely, absolutely. You couldn't deal with somebody more straight. So I was a bit like miffed when I heard when John called a scumbag. Like.
Do you think he'll regret that in the future?
Who?
Junior, the scumbag comment.
I don't think he regrets anything he says. I think Junior is one of those people where he's very stubborn and... Because
once his career's done in 10 years in the past, there's more to life than boxing.
I've met Junior a handful of times, right? Only a handful of times. I've never had more than a one-word hello, goodbye type thing with Junior. I knew his brother really well, Sebastian. He was a beautiful human being, really, really good human being, articulate, intelligent, great athlete, great person. Know Harlem really well, really good kid. I'm friends with Harlem. Like I'm friends with Harlem. Met Senior once, but Junior and Senior, I can't give a qualified opinion on what they're like as a person. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, it must be a tough situation, especially because listen, Frank's with Chris's sister. It's a hard one, isn't it? Family disputes. I don't know, but I'm qualified to give my opinion on Frank Smith. Tight, yes, but very straight, very, very straight to deal with.
Mate, Frank's always been quality with me and Charlie, and I've always appreciated everything he's done for us. So.
I can only be honest. Be honest. Like that. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, mate, same with me. I've always said Frank's
one
of the best people.
I speak to Frank Smith every day. Not that he wants to. He must hate it when I call him.
Is that because Eddie don't answer?
Yeah. Emily must hate it when he's on holiday and you've got me ringing the phone. He's like, oh, for fuck. Emily's probably trying to press the red button.
Trying to sort an 8-rounder
Yeah, trying to sort an 8-rounder. Exactly for that. But yeah, I speak to Frank Smith more than I do anybody in boxing.
Mate, love Frank. Well, I'll always say it, love Frank. Martin Bakole, you put on Twitter that you believe he lost by a round to FA Jagba.
Yes. It just goes further than that, though, doesn't it? Like what I just said to Louis, I don't want to like make out that I'm... Because I see Billy Nelson getting a lot of stick, right? And I know Billy likes to stick the knife in at me every now and again, but we have a lot of banter, me and Billy. But I don't dislike
We all like
it.
Sam Jones versus Billy Nelson.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't disbelieve it. I don't dislike Billy Nelson. But he needs to get real a little bit when it comes to Martin. Like, Martin is clearly a good fighter. Yeah? Dangerous, strong, good chin. But he is not an elite athlete. And that's what I was trying to think of what the words to say. Like what I said to Louis there a minute ago. Billy goes in on Daniel Dubois a lot. Oh, Bakole would beat Daniel Dubois. He would do this. He's broke his nose 12 times in sparring. Daniel Dubois is a bit goofy. Doesn't really know where he is. He doesn't really know what planet he's on half the time. However, Daniel Dubois is an elite level athlete. He lives correctly, diets correctly, and ultimately performances have shown.
He'd rather diet and live correctly and train than do anything else.
But what I'm saying is, that's what I'm trying to say about... Say whatever you want about Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois, and I'm using him as an example because when Billy says about Bakole would do this and that, Daniel Dubois would absolutely smash Martin Bakole to pieces on the evidence of these last two fights. Correct or not? I know you're not going to agree because it's not your job, but Louis would agree. I know he would. He doesn't have to sit there and give me his honest answer because I know the answers. Daniel Dubois, on form, would batter Martin Bakole. Maybe not because he's a better fighter. I'm not saying that like he's a naturally better fighter, but he lives correct, does the correct things, and the performances have shown in the ring. Martin Bakole is... He said he was a vegetarian. No, mate, he's an everything-tarian. Bollocks. Honestly, bollocks. Vegetarian. Bollocks. He needs to stop eating. He needs, when it's, I know because we're in a politically correct world, but the facts are, Martin Bakole is fat. He's fat. He's morbidly obese. He's morbidly obese, and there is no excuse to fight on the biggest stage in boxing, right? Like I say, I'm fat, right? I'm pudgy. I can run. I can run. I come to the gym, hence my membership at the health club. But I'm still...
say we're sitting in David Lloyd.
Yeah, but I'm chubby. But I'm allowed to be chubby. My job isn't to be an elite level athlete. But the fact Martin Bakole is top 10 in all the governing bodies, he's a top 10 heavyweight in the world, not having a nutritionist, not having a strength, these are the bare minimums. Like I said to Louis there, my 0-0 prospect has a nutritionist and a strength conditioning coach. My 0-0 prospect and all my other prospects, by the way. You've got to... If this doesn't wake Martin Bakole up at the age of 32, nearly 33, or however old he is, no one really knows, he needs to, that's got to be it. You've been banjoed by Joe Parker. People forgave you for that because you came with 24 hours notice. But really, you've just lost to FA at Jagba. On the simple reason you didn't win that fight is because you didn't have the respect for the event, for yourself to turn up in shape. And you can say I'm talking out. I'm not. I'm talking straight. Like you've got to be. You've got to have some self-discipline. And Billy shouldn't be getting all the stick that he's getting because Bakole's got to take accountability himself to not be in that shape. Put on a stone in a week. The fuck was he eating?
I mean, I don't know what Martin Bakole's life was like before boxing, but it certainly would have got better with the paychecks he's getting. Do you know the whole silk pyjama saying? Do you think he's waking up and going,
yeah, maybe.
I'm a fucking multi-millionaire?
Yeah, maybe.
It's harder to just go, do you know what, today I'm going to have this and eat out and treat myself.
But if he wants to do that, fair enough. But you can't disrespect the the game you're in by turning like that. But ultimately, it's like Billy Nelson has aspirations for Bakole to become a world champion. He's way off the mark at the moment, way off the mark. And now he's nowhere near a world title fight now, Bakole. He was on the cusp of a world title fight. But look, that's just my opinion. Bakole's a really good fighter, really, really good fighter. But elite level athlete, no chance.
Let's move on to an elite level athlete, Mr. Jack Cattrall. You mentioned you're friends with Harlem Eubank.
Yeah.
Going to be an easy fight to make?
I've known Harlem Eubank for years, right? And I say this, right hand to God.
Oh fuck!
He's one of the nicest kids you will meet. Harlem Eubank, one of the most genuine, nice kids, and he's an improved fighter. 21-0, but I've watched Harlem spar countless and countless of rounds. He's a great kid, got an ability to learn.
Was entertaining last
a really good athlete. Harlem Eubank is. That's where it stops. If he fights Jack Cattrall, in my opinion, is a level above him, and it will show on the night. However, if it does happen, because it's a big if, the fight's not done yet. Frank Smith, talking about me and tight. Frank Smith, you tight fucker, you watching? Yeah, if it does happen, I think it's going to be a really intriguing fight for the public, because people will be like, well, what can Harlem Eubank do, and can Jack make the adjustments? It's going to be really good if it happens.
If it doesn't happen,
yes.
Who are the options? Is there any you can
There's a few
It'll
options.
obviously be good.
Listen, Jack's got options now, a 140 or 147. So let's see what happens. But you'll see fight news for Jack within 7 days.
Cool. Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen.
Yes.
What do you think happens next week?
It depends, really. If Johnny has made the adjustments, Johnny can definitely win the fight. Well, he won last time, from what the judge said, like what I keep saying over and over again, I didn't believe he did win the fight. However, the judges thought he won the fight unanimously. So it really does depend. If Johnny's made the improvements, Johnny should win the fight. But if he's not got better, I know that Dave Allen is a lot fitter than last time. Like, he will still come in the ring looking pudgy, but that's just Dave. Dave's going to be better than last time. So Johnny, if he's better than last time, it's going to be a great fight. And listen, respect to Johnny, because Johnny has a fan base where they don't really care who he fights. They'll just turn up, have a few beers, and love the night, what's happening. So the fact Johnny's decided he wants to fight Dave Allen again shows the type of minerals and man that he is. So, really good fight. Looking forward to it.
Going to be a mad atmosphere as well. Did you watch the Usyk Dubois press conference?
I didn't, but I saw clips of it.
Did you think Don Charles rattled Usyk with the non-belief, the things he was saying about?
Yeah, that's the part.
We know the low blow stuff, but saying you're a man of faith.
Yeah. I thought I was a bit wild from Don, but Don's a very passionate man. I've had run-ins with Don, but I wouldn't want him to grab hold of me because I'd be fucked. So, but yeah, that's the way Don Charles is. He's a passionate man. But do I think he went a little bit overboard on the whole belief? And yes, I do. Listen,
it's a lot of his mantra of what Usyk talks about is faith. And
yeah, exactly. So I just thought, a little bit overboard, but that's Don. Don's a very passionate man. Look, you look at the years of Don being, even goes back to Germany when he's chasing David Hay around a press conference room. That's Don Charles.
Is it a good way to approach the Usyk fight? Perhaps
I don't know. And like I say, I would love to see Daniel Dubois win the fight. He's a British heavyweight. I want to see Daniel Dubois win that fight. But I will never, for as long as I live, back against Usyk to lose a fight. I've done it like 5 times, so I'm not doing it again.
Who did you back to beat?
I'm sure I backed Murat Gassiev to beat him.
Right. Back
in the day. But this goes to show how great Usyk is, by the way. Russia against Murat Gassiev. AJ, London, Tyson Fury back-to-back, Derek Chisora in Derek's back.
Even Breedis was Latvia.
Latvia.
Michael Hunter was America. It's a bit mad.
Oleksandr Usyk would live in any era and one of the greatest of all time. And don't let anybody tell, and I don't care what anybody says, he is. But I've backed against Usyk 5 times. 5 times I've backed against him.
Can you do it for a 6th?
Can I fuck? I'm not doing that again. But now I've done that, Dubois will probably win. But no, Usyk, he's an all-time great, and I had to apologise to him in the Ring Magazine Awards. I went up to him and said, Oleksandr, can I have a picture with you, please? So I was a bit of a fanboy. I went, you do know I backed against you to lose, and he went, this is your stupid fault. And I was just like, yeah, fair, I deserve that. So.
If Usyk calls you stupid, I'm afraid you have to take the mantra of stupid.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sam, just to finish, the rest of your stable. New training team for Cameron Vaughn, fights coming up for loads of the lads in June.
Yeah.
An away day for Pat Brown, so there's kind of a lot going on with the stable.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Listen, like I said in last one, I let Cameron talk to you about his decisions and new training team. But yeah, Pat Brown, big night coming up for him. Conor Walker, British title defence. Adam Macka's debut in New York. Dan Toward, after his disappointment, he's coming back. Yeah, there's loads happening. Trying to make a good fight for Jack. The stables. I'm so happy with the stable I've got. Oscar, I'm very blessed and fortunate to be in the position I'm in, working with all these great fighters. And yeah, long may it continue. Yeah.
Just finally on Conor Walker, how far could he go? Could he become a European champion? Could he make it
100% Conor
world
Walker
level?
If Conor Walker, what I can tell you is, Conor Walker gives 110%. This move that he's made, he's come on leaps and bounds already. He's looking unbelievable in the gym. So the sky's the limit for Conor Walker. I'm not saying he's going to be a world champion, but if you sat in front of Conor Walker and put him on a lie detector test and said, do you think you can become a world champion? Believe me, it would go green. He fully believes himself. I believe in him. My whole point of getting involved with Conor Walker was, I want to make him as much money as possible. That's just me being honest. He got paid not very good money against Lewis Crocker, which literally is not good for your health. Fights like that are not good for you. People can't actually remember how good that fight was. But I more than doubled his pay packet against Harry Scarf in a very tough fight, right? A very tough fight. He lost but Conor Walker, not making excuses. If you ask Eddie when you see him, Conor Walker had some awful news before that fight. And he also had an awful cut inside his mouth that required stitches inside his mouth. Easy grounds to pull out of a fight, right? I'm not making excuses in that front because Harry Scarf was winning the fight. He was winning every minute of every second of that fight. But Conor Walker stuck to the task, and he found a shot he's been working on with his coach at the time. And he pulled a bat out of his pants and won that fight. That was one of the best nights I've been a part of. He has improved massively just from then. And Liam Taylor, it's kind of Liam Taylor's last shot at a big night. So he's going to come game, and he's not been taken lightly. But the plan is to get as far as possible with Conor Walker. And it couldn't happen to a better person.
Just shows by how many people backstage just involved with events and that were happy to see Conor win that title.
Yeah, I've never seen a happier bunch of people. Like everybody, like they were trying not to be biased, like the match, but they were all so happy for him, and it made me like it warms your heart to see how happy like everyone was for him to win that fight. So yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah,
absolutely, Sam. Appreciate your time. Have you got any words of wisdom for the people?
No,
Saturday.
Thank you for David Lloyd for giving us. Letting us do an interview in here.
Visiting next week.
Yeah, I'll sort you out to come in next week. Yeah, great facility. I don't know.
Little sauna steam before I head back down for Johnny Fisher vs Dave Allen.
100%. No, just do your best. Just do your best and make every minute of the day count.
There you go. Words of wisdom.